On today's episode of Call Me Commander, we're taking our very first look into the Strixhaven command cycle. Not only are we going to discuss what each school is capable of, we're going to be looking at the play space that each of these spells occupy in Commander. Alright, let's get into it. Let's kick it off with Silver Quill Command. For 2, a black and a white at sorcery speed, and let's be honest, this one could have been an instant. At instant speed, this spell would have been able to apply combat tricks, you would have been able to return a creature from your graveyard at instant speed, target player draws a card and loses a life, you punish those Thassa's Oracle players who keep getting away with it, and target opponent sacrifices a creature. Now, that's not even that overwhelming, seeing as it is target opponent. It's not even each opponent. If it was each opponent, I would say this is justified, but for 4 mana at sorcery speed, this would have needed to be an instant in order for it to be playable. I don't really see this one actually seeing play in Commander. Moving on, Lorehold Command for 3, a white and a red at instant speed. Finally, it's at instant speed, but you just don't quite get the value for 5 mana. There are so many other things that I would rather be casting at 5 mana or less that fill this spot, that does more to change the game. It's really a feel bad moment when you're not able to completely turn the game around by casting this spell. The other 3 spells in the set though, let's talk about Witherbloom Command. Witherbloom Command is incredible. For the value of 2 mana, a black and a green, you can create grave advantage and hand advantage with a single mode. That's insane. Plus, the fact that it's in Sultai colors, it's included in that, you're going to want to put cards in your graveyard, and like I said, hand advantage, returning a land to your hand, very valuable in the early game. Destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. Again, this is very powerful because you're removing Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Sylvan Library, Burgeoning, Exploration, Confounding Conundrum. If you are in a land-based deck, the possibilities are endless with that. You can get rid of Blind Obedience. The list goes on. Target creature gets -3, -1 until end of turn. And now this is the one mode where I'm like, okay, this one, I'm not really gonna do anything with that one. It'll hardly ever see play. Very rarely, if ever. And so when I see this, I go, if it disincentivizes a blocker, I guess that's okay. But really, you're not gonna be killing much with this. Target opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. For a 4-point life swing at 2 mana and you still get another mode, Lorehold Commands for 5 mana gives you a 6-point life swing if you so choose. It does have the flexibility of choosing any target like Lightning Helix, but for 2 mana, you're getting the 4-point life swing and another mode, which could be grave advantage and hand advantage. I think this one automatically, even in the mid to late game, this is still very powerful depending on your strategy. So this one is going to see play, and this one's going to be expensive down the line. Now let's really talk about some insane cards here. Quandix Command. 1, a blue and a green at instant speed, and this is where it is important. It is disruptive. That is what is most important about this. And I'm hoping that's sort of the tagline to go along with the Quandix school, because 1, return target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. Both sides of the table. It helps me by protecting a creature potentially or a planeswalker, and then it also sets my opponent back. Incredibly valuable. The next mode, counter target artifact or enchantment spell. This one is so tasty and flavorful because basically they took Naturalize, and they took Negate, and they had a baby, and they put it together as one mode in this spell. I really, really like that. It's very flavorful, very Simic, even though it's Quandix, but very Simic in that way. And this will probably be the most popular mode chosen just because you're reacting to something. And the other modes are just bonuses, they're icing on the cake. This one is the real reason the spell is good. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. You need your Gyre Sage to tap for more mana. Done. You need your Incubation Druid online. Done. And then the spell is essentially free. You need to flip Hidana's Climb. Done. So another very circumstantial mode, but still powerful in the right deck with the right strategy. Target player shuffles up to 3 target cards from their graveyard into their library. This is good because you're also, again, in Sultai colors. I can see Mimeoplasm running both of these cards, Quandix and Witherbloom, and just generating value and protecting your combo pieces. One, when someone bogs you, shuffle your pieces back in your library to protect them from being lost for the rest of the game. Or two, someone across the table is using their graveyard for advantage, shuffle those pieces back in and make them go get them again. That is where this one is very powerful. And this mode is relevant, though maybe rarely, depending on your pod and your meta. This one is relevant. Again, insane. This one's great. And finally, cue the music, because we're talking about the most badass spell of the cycle. This one gets me riled up. I just get, yeah. This one's awesome. This one's really awesome. It is so awesome. Prismari Command does so much. At instant speed for 1 blue and a red, you can deal 2 damage to any target as one of your 2 options. And so someone's locking the board down with an opposition agent or a Hull Breacher or a Drannith Magistrate or pretty much any of these hate bears. They are susceptible to the first mode of Prismari Command. And so removal, the next mode, target player draws 2 cards, then discards 2 cards. The wish list from Silver Quill Command has come true. At instant speed, you're able to force a player, note it says target player, to draw cards and discard 2. And at instant speed, you're able to punish that Thassa's Oracle player who keep getting away with it. This card is very flexible. It helps you dig, looting 2, and is just more powerful than what people believe. Discarding is no longer a weak effect. It allows you to fill your grave, set up for recursion, and move the game forward. Target player creates a treasure token. Invest in future turns. This is great. I can see where this is awesome in Standard because you're curving right into a Goldspan Dragon. And in Commander, you're setting yourself up for future turns. And it says target player again. So you can use this as a political tool to say, can you handle this person if you had 1 more mana? And they're like, yeah, I could probably do that. Or they're 1 short of a Psych Rift. Boom. They got it in their hand. Give them the option to cast it. Help you, help them. Maybe it creates that window of opportunity for you to win the game. Finally, destroy target artifact. This one is just icing on the cake. You're getting rid of like linchpin pieces, Vidalcan Ori, or Panharmonicon. This is a Braid, but way, way better. I can see where this spell gets slotted into all of these wheel decks and these spell slinging decks, Calamax, any of these, because the card is just so flexible and so powerful that I want 15. I want 15 of these. Final thoughts on these cards. The first 2 are duds. They don't really have a place in Commander, maybe at casual tables, but it's still going to feel bad when you play them because they just don't do enough. But the last 3 are incredible. You should play these if you're in these colors. Again, they just generate too much value and set you up great to win the game down the line. This has been Call Me Commander with Evan Kunai. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe below.